What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to be talking about NIO and how they just broke a massive record for their delivery numbers. We're going to go over exactly what these numbers mean for NIO going forward and compare them to the numbers that NIO released over the last year. We're also going to go over NIO's new trademark for their new vehicle that they should be announcing in the near future. Now, the key thing that we need to keep a lookout for going forward for NIO was, yes, these delivery numbers came out good, so that checked a box right there. But we also need to focus on these new battery swapping partnerships that NIO has been announcing a lot of over the past 2 weeks. Now, we do have another one that is supposed to be confirmed over the next 2 weeks, so the middle of April, and that is going to be the biggest one that we could possibly see out of NIO going forward. So we're going to go over that as well. So before we get into all of that information, if you guys would like to earn 2 free stocks with Webull, valued up to $1,850, make sure you check out that link down below in my description. All you have to do is set up an account, deposit over $100, and you receive those 2 free stocks. This is also a great way if you guys would like to help support the channel. You are making free money with your 2 free stocks, and I also get a free stock once you guys sign up. And if you guys enjoy the information and analysis that I provide for you in this video, make sure you go down and hit that like button. And if you want to see more videos like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new video, so you get to stay up to date on all of your favorite stocks, learn about a couple of new ones, and see exactly which options I am trading and which strategies I am using to trade them. So we can see by the chart of NIO that we had this massive sell-off, a bounce up, another sell-off, but then once we saw a little bit of bullishness in the overall market, tech got a boost. The hyper-growth stocks that we have been talking about on this channel began to have a comeback. NIO began to creep up a little bit, and the delivery numbers that came out did send NIO up pretty high in the pre-market, and then NIO has been kind of falling throughout the day today. So at the current time that I'm recording this video, NIO is up about 1.2%. So now we like to take a look at some of the unusual options activity on the stocks that we are looking at to kind of get and see what the sentiment of options traders and the overall money flow is going to be in these stocks. So when we come over to the chart of, or the option chain for NIO, we're going to be taking a look at the April 16th, 2021 expiration date. Now, this expiration date is very close in terms of options. So these are going to depreciate pretty quickly due to time decay. But as we can see here, the close to the money, the at the money strike has an open interest of about 23,453. That is pretty common with all of the stocks that we are talking about on these channels, to see a high open interest on these at the money strikes. But when you come out a little bit further, these 45s have a 35,753 open interest. So if you guys didn't know, open interest is essentially the amount of contracts that people are holding in their brokerage accounts at the current time. The actual definition is essentially the amount of contracts that are out in the market that have not been exercised or closed. So when you scroll down a little bit further, we can see that once we hit the $50 strike, the open interest starts to shoot up. So 37,000 for the 50s, 25,000, 44,000. So this is pretty big numbers. And when we come over and look at the volume, this is going to be the key indicator to see if people are actually buying these contracts every single day. So for these 50s, 4,685 of these contracts were traded today. For these 46.5, 6,852 were traded today. And the open interest on these is pretty low. So another thing that you always need to keep a lookout for is the call options might have a super high open interest, but so could the puts. So we wouldn't really be able to see where investor sentiment is going to be in the option chain. But when we take a look at the puts, there's really nothing crazy that sticks out. We can even see that these at the monies only have an open interest of 803, which this is going to suggest to me that the overall sentiment is that NIO is going to be bullish over the next couple of weeks. Now, this is not an end-all be-all indicator. It just gives you a little bit of an insight into where people are expecting the price of NIO to go in the short term. So now let's get into these bombshell delivery numbers. So if we come over to NIO's website, we can see that NIO provides March and first quarter 2021 delivery update. NIO delivered 7,257 vehicles in March 2021, increasing by 373% year over year. NIO delivered 20,060 vehicles in the 3 months ended March 2021. So that is just the first quarter of 2021, increasing 423% year over over year. So it goes down and says what the cumulative delivery numbers are. We can see that number is going to be 95,701. Now, if you guys remembered in my last NIO video where we talked about these delivery numbers, we saw NIO themselves and a couple of these analysts come out and actually decrease the expectation for the delivery numbers for the first quarter of 2021. They went from around 20,000 to 25,000, and they decreased the estimate to 19,500. And I said that I don't think that this semiconductor shortage is really going to have an effect on NIO's delivery numbers because they haven't even stopped production. They actually stopped production 2 days ago, I think. So there's 2 days into the production stop. So 2 days in March is not going to affect their overall delivery numbers. So I was expecting NIO to still come out and massively beat these delivery numbers, which we are seeing right here. Now, if we come over to this little chart, this is a little graph that kind of explains what the total delivery numbers were for each year for NIO. We can see that there was about 20,565 in 2019, 43,728 in 2020, and we can see that in the first quarter of 2021 alone, NIO has already delivered almost half of the amount of vehicles that they did in 2020. Now, if NIO was not going to have any delivery growth over the next year and they were able to stay the same due to the worldwide semiconductor shortage, if this becomes a larger problem long term than we are expecting, I would expect NIO to be able to deliver 80,000 vehicles in 2021 just based off these numbers. Now, if NIO is able to actually get past this semiconductor shortage and start cranking out vehicles and getting them out into the market, I do think that it is very possible that we are going to see NIO deliver 100,000 vehicles to customers and consumers in 2021, and that would be a massive milestone. So this is a big deal for NIO going forward. As I've said in my other electric vehicle videos, it's not only the delivery numbers and direct sales numbers that create the super high valuations for these electric vehicle companies. A lot of it has to do with the technology that they are putting into the vehicles now, the projected and potential technology that they can put in the cars in the future, and the future revenue growth that we are going to see for these companies in the future. Now, when we come over here, we're going to see that NIO has registered the EF9 trademark for the high-end MPV model. So we went over this in my last NIO vehicle. Essentially what MPV is a multi-purpose vehicle. It's more geared towards families. These vehicles kind of look like Sprinter vans. In my opinion, they're not the most visually appealing, but they are going to have a market because if NIO is going to be creating a new car, they're not just going to be willy-nilly creating vehicles if they don't know that they are going to be able to sell them. Now, we also have these battery swapping partnership. So we can see that NIO signed a deal with German retail giant on charging infrastructure partnership. So we also have covered this before, but in short, this German retail giant has a bunch of malls around China. And what this agreement is going to be able to do for NIO is NIO is going to put these battery charging and swapping stations at a bunch of these malls across China. Now, that's not all that we have out of NIO. We've also seen that NIO has signed a pact with an infrastructure firm for battery swapping stations in Beijing. And these are going to be placed on the Beijing Capital Ring Expressway. So these are going to, customers are going to have direct access to all of these battery swapping stations. And this, as we can see here, is a 5-year agreement. Now, these two partnerships are big, but in my opinion, these are not the two most important that NIO is going to be engaging in. We are seeing hints that NIO is going to be signing a huge partnership with Sinopec. So Sinopec is an oil and gas provider in China. They have about 30,000 gas stations across the whole entirety of China. And we're seeing that NIO is going to be putting their first battery swapping station at the Beijing Sinopec gas station in the middle of April. So once this battery swapping station is actually out and is at this gas station, we could see a whole new super large partnership come out with NIO and Sinopec, which is going to be a huge deal in my opinion, because since Sinopec has these 30,000 gas stations across China, they know that in order to maintain their competitive edge in the market, they have to pivot in some way into sustainable energy. With all of the different countries around the world moving towards more environmentally friendly policies, if they don't pivot their business, they are going to fail in the future. So a partnership with NIO is going to really benefit them and NIO as well, because if NIO is only able to get their battery swapping stations at 5% of Sinopec's gas stations, that would mean that they would be able to put out 1,500 battery swapping stations at all of the Sinopec gas stations in China. At the current time, NIO has projected that they want to put out 500 battery swapping stations in China, and we can see that just from the one Sinopec partnership that there is the possibility to triple that over the next couple of years. Now, we also have those other two partnerships, so NIO is set up to have an amazing 2021 and beyond. And again, I am still bullish on the NIO and the overall electric vehicle market. These dips, in my opinion, over the long term are absolute gifts for you guys to buy. Now, your future self, in my opinion, now nothing I say in these videos is financial advice. These are for educational and entertainment purposes only, but your future selves might thank you in a very big way by buying all of these dips on the electric vehicle companies, because I do see NIO breaking the triple-digit price point in terms of their share price over the next 2 years. We've seen JP Morgan come out and give them a $70 price target that expires at the end of 2021, and it's going to be very interesting to see if NIO can meet those expectations. So that is going to wrap up this update for NIO. If you guys enjoyed the information and analysis that I provided for you in this video, make sure you go down and hit that like button, and if you want to see more videos like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new video, so you get to stay up to date on all of your favorite stocks, learn about a couple of new ones, and see exactly which options I am trading and which strategies I am using to trade them. And if you would like some free money with Webull, make sure you check out that link down below in my description. So I hope you guys were able to have a really profitable day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.